Hi, I'm Beth and I'm going to show you 5 exercises that you can do every single day. These are the ones I do that I always come back to, and they're great because they just keep my body from seizing up, keeps my body moving, and also works on strength as well. So let's just start. The first exercise is one where I just go on my hands and knees. So you just put your knees right under your hips and your hands under your shoulders. And we're going to get the back moving to start with. So we just round the back and you look down at your thighs when you do that, and then you go into an arched shape and look forward. So letting the tummy drop down. And again, just round. And if I do this first thing in the morning, I might feel a little bit stiff. But the more you keep going with this move, you'll find you've got more range. So you don't need to push it really hard at first to try and really force your body. You just go slowly, so where it doesn't hurt. And then as you keep moving, you'll find it's easier. That's it. If your knees are sore in this kind of shape, sometimes just putting a little rolled up towel under the knees is helpful. So really spreading the shoulder blades and pulling the tummy up when you're in a rounded shape. And then when I look forward, I think of reaching my chest right through my shoulders there. And that's it. So just carry on, keep going, and feel like it's a nice smooth movement through your back. You tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone as you go round. And then you start to reach the tailbone away from you. You look up. And then come back to being where you feel is about even. The second move that I do every day is a nice one for stability. All that means is I'm just going to lift opposite arm and leg and reach them out. And when I first do this, again, I feel unsteady, but I just bring balance back into my body. So I think of reaching my hip bones nice and even, and I think of lengthening the arm and leg, and I don't rush it. I just stay there until I find that balance. And then I'm just going to pop that knee and hand down and then just go on to the other side. And then back and down. The reason I go slowly is because that's going to make my core work. And if I keep my body nice and steady as I go, that'll be really good strengthening work for me. The other thing, just watch that the back of the neck is nice and long. So I always just put my eyes a little bit in front of my hands on the floor there. Square off your hips. It's always an adjustment. Sometimes your body just goes into it, opens up the hip, but I'm just going to keep it square. Just do one more on each side with me. That's good. And again, as you keep moving through an exercise like this, you might find you get steadier and steadier, and then you can go a bit faster. The third move is onto your tummy now. So just laying down, and I'm just going to pop my hands just in front of my shoulders. Actually, just right under my shoulders. Elbows reach back. And I think of pushing my hip bones down into the floor, and then I'm just going to look forward and lift up my chest, just letting the elbows drop down. And then just let your head and chest down again. So look forward, lift up. So this really looks like a very small move, but this is perfect for strengthening your upper back muscles so that you can maintain a really good posture. Now, if this hurts your lower back, think of aiming your tailbone down to the mat so that you're really just moving from the upper back up. I usually breathe in when I lift up and let the air sort of fill into the front of the chest to help me lift, and then exhale down. And then if that's feeling really good, you can go a bit further. So you come up to here and then you sort of push into your hands and you can lift up. And maybe you don't go all the way to straight arms, that's okay. Some days I also just go to here and roll back down. You just have to play it by ear, see how your back feels in the lower back. And you want to see if you can keep your shoulders dropping down. If that feels really uncomfortable, try this. Take your hands a bit further, a bit wider, a bit further forward and wide as your mat, and then try it there. See how that feels. Maybe you can get your arms a little bit straighter and it might feel a lot more comfy. So try it both positions and find a place for your hands that feels good for you. Drop your shoulders. I have to keep reminding myself to. Back and down and look forward, lift up. This is perfect to reverse that rounded shape we get often through the day if we're sitting or at our computer or reading. So a very important move for your back. Very good if you've got osteoporosis as well. This arch shape is really important. And back and down. And then pop your hands beside your rib cage, push into your hands, and then just sit back towards your feet as much as you can and stretch your back the other way. And then just help yourself back up. The fourth one we're going to lay on our back for. This is my favourite and I do this every day. So on your back, hands down beside you, we can do a bridge. So all you do is you press your lower back into the mat and then you push down with your feet to lift the hips up. So this is a great position. Now your shoulders are open, you're squeezing your glutes and the back of the legs. You've got your tummy drawing in. You've got a nice opening here at the front of the hips, so it just feels good all over. And the best thing is you can get your spine moving by rolling down through each bone of your back. So the trick is we're going to move through the bones of the spine so that you don't end up having a spot in your back that feels stuck. So you soften the sternum as you breathe out, dropping down bone by bone. Try and lay the spine down so you watch that you're not going to one side. It's a really nice awareness exercise to come up again. That's it. Squeeze your tush and roll back down. Sometimes I put my hands up to the ceiling and do the same thing. It just makes it feel like, you know, you've got to balance a little bit more. And here's a nice thing to do is if you lift the hips up with me now, then reach the arms over your head. Just leave your arms as close to the ground as you can or on the ground, and then just lengthen your spine and roll all the way down. Amazing, it feels so good. And then reach your arms back up. Do that again. Tuck the pelvis, lift up the hips. Arms go over. They stay right there as you drop your chest down away from your fingertips. And then bring the arms back up. Do that one more time. That's it. Get a really nice big stretch. Stretch out your body. And then just bring the arms back and down. Now the fifth move, which I do every day, is this one. So you can put your feet together, your legs together, hands down. I'm going to keep my shoulders on the ground as my knees go over to one side and then just bring them back over to the other side. So the reason I do this is because you actually use your waist to pull the legs back, to draw the hips back. You're getting a nice little twist in the low back, which is what I always seem to need. And I'm just trying to keep my shoulders heavy on the ground. So I'm not going over so far that my shoulder blade lifts off. And then sometimes I feel like making it a bit harder. I just put the legs up. And it works the tummy a little bit more, which can feel really nice. And if you're following along with me, maybe you even turn your head away from where your legs go and then everything back to center. Legs go one way, head goes the other. So just including that little neck stretch is always good. That's it. We'll do one more on each side. And then you can roll to the side to hop up or roll up. But Thanks for joining me, and keep those exercises in mind for your just a daily little stretch that you can do.